Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Coast to Coast, where I'm on day 9. That is the part from Reeth, just behind me, to Richmond, which is about 10 or 10 and a half miles. Now this section involves a couple of miles actually of road walking to start with. This little country lane, it seems to be the busiest little country lane I've ever experienced in my life today. But then we're going to head over towards Marrick Priory. Hopefully we'll see the gorgeous ruins there, and then up and over a little hill towards Marske. And then we're going to go up and over, I think, another little hill towards a lovely section of woodland, which then descends down into Richmond. So the weather this morning is actually really nice. It's cold, it's about 5 degrees, but there's a weather front coming in around 1 o'clock, so fingers crossed we actually managed to complete this section before the rain. I don't want to rush it, but I also don't want to get completely soaked. So just behind me over here is the site of Marrick Priory, and you can still see the magnificent church. Now I think the church actually dates to the 15th century, but the priory itself was founded in the 12th century, I think somewhere around 1154. And it's now actually been converted, some of the buildings anyway, into an outdoor education centre. So we're down in this little valley now, tucked between the village of Marrick and Marske, and I could see right across to the surrounding hills. It was absolutely beautiful views from the top of the valley, and I could see across to Hutton's monument as well, which is I think a 60-foot high pillar. So far the walking has been absolutely delightful. We've just crossed this little stream which runs past a beautiful farm called Ella's, and I think we are only a mile from Marske now. We're actually going to sit there for 10 minutes and have some lunch. That's roughly halfway, I think, on this section to Richmond, maybe even slightly more. I have spotted a very negative point, and that is a cow field up ahead. Not happy about that. There's been no cows so far. Of course, I had to bump into some large cattle on the walk. So just beginning our steep descent along the road now into Marske. And there is a beautiful historic bridge that dates to the 15th century. There's the lovely church of St Edmund, King and Martyr, which is Grade 2 star listed and dates to the 12th century, and even has this beautiful 12th century arched doorway. And it's there we're just going to have a little bit of a rest for 10 or 15 minutes but there's definitely been a noticeable change in the air. It's cooled down a lot, and I think the rain is inbound. So we've made it up the steep side of the valley. We came from Mask, which I can just make out the rooftops over there, across these fields, down over a bridge, over a stream, and then up this steep side of the valley to enjoy this epic view. The River Swale just trickling its way down there, much broader, racing downhill, and just such an incredible view. This is now the track that I'm going to follow for the next couple of kilometres into, I think it's Wycliffe Wood. So we're not far from Wycliffe Wood. And in fact, this limestone escarpment up on my left is Wycliffe Scar. And just below that, it's actually the site of a Romano-British settlement. So this site was occupied sometime sort of maybe 200 BC up into 200 AD. So it overlaps the Roman invasion and was occupied prior and during that time. And this settlement actually has two rectangular enclosures that are separated by a deep hollow way and actually offer incredibly commanding views right up and down Swaledale. So we left Wycliffe Wood just a few hundred metres back and treated to this glorious view. Look at that, I can see the castle keep in Richmond down here, and then way off in the distance, the North Yorkshire moors. We will be there in a couple of days' time, but for now, let's descend down to Richmond and enjoy some of the historic treats that the town has to offer. We have begun our final descent down into Richmond now. I can see the houses on the edge of the town just down here, and the Norman Keep is just getting closer and closer. Absolutely incredible. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and also ring the bell to keep up to date with future uploads, and I will see you in the next part.